Hi and welcome to Python tutorial of how to develop a calculator. I'm going to start by showing you 45 multiplied by 9. There we go. Let's add some values to it. There. You can clear, and you can even say 2 or 4 multiplied by 2, and you decide to change the 2 and say 4 multiplied by 8. There we go. You can look for the square root of that and maybe take away 3 there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Python development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Alright, welcome back to Python. So let's start by creating as follows, but the first thing I'll do is to import as follows. That's tk, import it all, enter a star there. The next object I'm going to import is going to be let's import mass function. Now I'm going to create my class. It's a class calc plus calculate, enter column there. Then let's define the function. Let's say init, and that's going to be, let's initialize as follows, and that's going to be self, right, and enter semicolon in there. Okay, let's say self dot total equals, let's initialize it with 0, and self dot current value equals nothing. Now let's say self dot input value that is equals true. Right, and let's go for another one and say self dot, let's check the sum, check sum equals false for now, and self dot operator that was used is nothing, so we're clearing the operator we intend to use, and self dot result equals false. Right, okay, now let's add some variables, and let's also define the value or the size of the interface and so on. First of all, I'm going to say add value, and that is equals to calculate, and let's say root equals tk, so that is my calculator. Self, then the root title, I'm going to call that calculator. Right, and let's say the framework dot resizable, I'm going to make that false, so the width is going to be false and the height is going to be false as well, so you shouldn't be able to resize your calculator at random. Okay, then height equals there, false as well. So now let's add a frame to this. Let's say calculator equals frame, and the frame is going to be a resident inside the root, and let's say the calculator itself dot grade. There. Now, so what I'm going to do now is let's get the root to more or less like loop around main loop. Right. Okay. And before I continue, let me save my project. Save as. Let's say calculator. I'm just going to call it YouTube calculator. Right. That's going to be the name, YouTube calculator. And save that. Okay, if we decide to run it, and you guys will see what I've done so far, you might not be able to see it though. That is it right there, but we cannot resize it. Let me, if I comment this out, resizable, if I comment it out, we should be able to resize it, and you guys can see what's going on. There we go. That is it right there. That's a calculator framework. Nothing is there now. Okay, let's go back in here. I intend to leave my resizable the way it is now. So the next thing is, let me add a text box. Let's say my text box is going to be known as txt display. Right. So txt display equals object entry. Okay, now let's say object entry is resident inside the framework calc, which is right here. Right, now I'm going to define the font for this. Let's say my font is going to be font equals area, and the size for this font is going to be 20, and let's make it bold. Right, and just close that. Then the back color, I'm going to make the back color powdered blue. I like that powdered blue, so I might as well just enter powdered blue there. Powder blue. Right. And the border BD, let's say that's approximately 30, and the width, I'm going to say that is going to be about 28, and let's justify it to the right, equals right. There. Okay, now that that is done, let's say display dot grade that will be row equals 0 and column equals 0. So that's meant to be the position of this text box itself, and I would like this column to actually span to cover four areas of the button. So, and we pad it by 1. Right, and let's just say the value that we insert in here is going to be 0 anyway. Insert dot equals 0. Comma. There we go. Okay, let's run it and see what we've done. Oh, there's a comma missing here. Alright, so that's for the frame. Now let's run it. Go to run and save, and let's see what's going to happen. There we go. So that is for my text area, so in there we can enter our value in there. Alright, the next thing I would like to do now is I'm just going to create some buttons right underneath here. So right underneath here, I'm going to start by creating as a btn7 equals button. That's the object name, and this button is going to be right inside my calc, and let's say we pad it by 1 as well, then both, that will be 4, and the color, that will be black. The default color is black anyway. So, and the font, let's say the font is going to be, yeah, let's go for 20 as well. So I might as well just copy all of this, get rid of this, copy the font, paste that. That's for the font. And the width, let's get the width equals 6, comma, and the height is going to be 2, comma, and let's move this up a little bit. Okay, let's say the text on it, text equals 7, right, and so BG color, I'm going to make that powdered blue as well. Let me just copy that, powdered blue, BG equals powdered blue for this button. Now let's round it up because there's no function defined yet, so we can just say dot read. That will be, let's position it, we'll position it on row number 2, right, because I'm going to add some stuff on row number 1. So this is row number 2 equals that, right. Okay, if we choose to run it, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, that's my 7 there, but right on top of it is supposed to be CE, so let me copy that and just paste that right on top of here, and I'm going to call this very one, let's call it clear entry, and clear entry we have CE as value on it, and the rule for that is going to be 1 and 0, right. So we leave that as 1 and 0, column is 0. Alright, that's fine. Let's run that now and see how it's going to be. That should be on top of 7 really. There we go. Okay, now that that is done, let's copy this. Let's come in here, we need more rooms here. Okay, let's just come right down here, press enter. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. See this one? I'm going to copy that and paste that underneath here, and another one, and this one is going to be C, and this is going to be clear. That's just going to be clear, and this column will be 1, right. Yeah, that's 1, and this one will be 2. Okay, and the third one here, I'm going to call that btn square root. Okay, that's going to be square root. Let's make it one word. btn square root. In the case of square root, that is 2. That is correct. Right, we now need to, let me just put space so that you guys can see. Right, This is CE button, clear button, and square root button. So we now need the symbol of square root. I'm going to copy the symbol of square root inside Word document. Let's go to Word document, and we should be able to see that here. That's it. You guys can see that. Here I'm going to copy. If you don't know where it is, just go to symbol, insert symbol. That is it right there, and that is it. You can just click, and there we go. So I'm going to copy that. Alright, let's copy and come right in here and just paste it right there. No text inside the text. There we go. So if I save and run, this is how my system should look like. You see that, guys? So nothing is happening now. Alright, we need one more button because I want it to be 4 across. So I'm just going to add another one that will be for my, let's copy that. That will be for the plus sign. Okay, let's paste that. We're going to paste it right below, so just right here, and let's change the name to btn add, and the text content on it, I'm going to change that to plus, and the column is 3. So if I save and run, this is what you guys will see. Oh, let's see what happened there. Alright, we need to close this. Close that. Okay, that's fine. Run it again, and there we go. But none of these buttons do nothing right now. As you can see, nothing is happening. Okay, let's come in here. One other thing is you can also use, you see right here, you can also use ASCII and binary character there. So I'm going to use, instead of typing in plus, I can just enter the binary character, which is 43 for the plus sign. So if you don't know the characters, you can also go online and research it. I think I have one here. That's it. You see the plus sign is 43. Okay, so go online and research that. So let's run the program and see, and that should also give me the plus sign. That is fine. Alright, so that is taking care of the first, or the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 is taking care of. The first rows are taken care of. Alright, so the second row, this is the second row. I'm just going to copy this and just change it around. 1, 2, 3. So this one is going to be 8, 9, and that is 9. No, that's 9. That is 8. Right, and we also need to change it. That is 0. This will be 1, 2, and the next character here is, that is supposed to be subtract. Let's see, the subtract is 45. So let's say in here you enter, you can also enter just subtract, but I just want to enter 45, the ASCII character, ASCII and binary character here. Okay, so let's change the column of that. So that's going to be 3. So if I run it now, let's come in here and run that and see what's going to happen. And there we go. Okay, right. Okay, we have the first row. That's the first row. Let's enter a comment in there. That's row, that is row number 2 actually. Okay, that's row 2, and we have row 3 below. And this, where I have my text box here, is row number 1. Row 1 is class as 0. Okay, so let's just say 0, 1, 2. Okay, let's compile and run again. And there, well, I don't seem to like this. Let's see what is wrong with the size of the display. Okay, width, that was meant to be 28. Try that again. There we go. Now let's copy all of these, copy and paste it right down here. That is row number 3. On row number 3, that's 2, 3, so everything here will be 2, 3. Row 3, no, 3, 3 and 3, and this will be 4, 5, and this is 6. Yeah, here this one was supposed to be subtract, so that's meant to be sub. And we make this one multiply, mult. Okay, an ASCII character for multiplication. If you want, you can use character, or you can just say equals. There, the choice is yours. I'm just showing you guys different ways of entering those characters. So this is 6, 5 and 4. Okay, let's run it and see how it's going to look like. Alright, we have an error. Okay, so let's see, what did I do wrong? So I was meant to get rid of that. It was part of the character, ASCII character. Alright then, let's see. You see that, guys? So everything is taking shape now. Now let's do one more, just one more. So this is 3. We'll do the 4th one. Copy, paste. This is number 4, and this is going to be 1. Enter 1 here, 2, 3, and 3 there. And this, the rows will be 4. There we go. And here, that's supposed to be division. So we'll change this to division. Right. Now let's run it and see. The 4th one is taken care of as well. Okay, but you see all of these, I do want a pattern for all of these. So where we have colors here, let me get rid of those colors. So the color we have in here, I'm going to get rid of it. I don't want any color here. Only the numbers, we have the colors. So that goes, and that's not the number, this goes as well. That is subtract, that goes as well. And addition, that goes too. Okay, and what about all the colors I have on top? Yeah, I don't want no color for them, but let's run it first and see. There. So get rid of these colors here. Okay, all of these colors goes. Nice. Save that. and this is how it looks now. So we need just one more button rows, and we can then start work on the main functions. Okay, let's take care of the fifth row. So I'm going to copy all of these again and just paste it right underneath here. Change this one to the fifth row. Right, scroll right down. The row will be fifth. So enter 5 there, 5 and 5 and 5 here. Okay, the last one, that's going to be equals. Right, so for equals we enter the sign equals there, and followed by plus and minus, P and M. The character, ASCII character for that is going to be character equals 177, and this is going to be dot, that's decimal. Just enter a dot sign there, and this is going to be 0. Enter 0 here. Right, we don't want colors on them as well, so get rid of all these colors that I have in there. Get rid of that there, and save and run.